Hey guys, we're back, and we are doing part 2 of our year-end awards. This is going to be talking about our top 5 matches of the year from all promotions. So, who wants to start first?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Great start. And cut. Okay.
Me?
Yeah,
Alright.
Yes, go ahead.
For me, number 5, I went with Kevin Steen versus Micheal Elgin. Their match at I didn't write down the
Glory by Honor,
11.
11.
That's right. I gave that 4.5 stars. I thought that was an incredible match, and it was a match that ROH needed desperately.
Oh yeah.
It was one of those things that the company had gotten away from what it had been doing. They highlighted Steen as the champion, but then they made him into like this hardcore, almost garbage wrestler is what it felt like Cornette wanted him to look like.
Yeah.
And the whole company was just struggling. And Elgin at that point, he had beat Davey, but had floundered since. Hey, Hubert.
Special
boy
guest.
Hubert, he's kind of nosy. But like I said, when it comes to after the Davey match, Elgin had floundered really.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, his matches with Haas and Finley. And
He had a pretty good match with Adam Cole at Boiling Point.
I bet you would remember that.
Yes.
Adam Cole fanboy, right?
Nonetheless, I felt like this is a match that all those people needed. It was the return of Mr. Wrestling, Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
And it was a showcase that Micheal Elgin was not a one-trick pony.
Oh yeah.
And it was two, like,
Big
bigger
guy,
guys.
yeah, huge.
Which you don't see very much in a Ring of
Right.
Honor.
I will say right now though, that match really surprised me. Just how much agility and like mobility they show for just two guys that are huge, bulky guys. Like, and they did some stuff like I couldn't believe. Like
They proved that heavyweights don't have to wrestle that WWE style.
Yeah,
That's all baloney.
Yeah, they proved that what big men can do in the ring when they give them the chance. And like, I'll give you that one. That was a great match.
Yeah.
My number 5 is actually CM Punk versus John Cena at Night of Champions from this past year. I think going into this match, I think a lot of people were kind of, I think a little bit like going downward on the CM Punk thing, especially like a lot of the fans, because they were just like so tired of him not main eventing the show. They wanted to see him really showcase his ability and everything, and like Cena was kind of like floundering in the middle of a nowhere feud or whatever. And just this match, it almost had that atmosphere of Money in the Bank, where it felt like a big match fight, and from just every single time they did a move, it just felt important.
I'm sorry.
And
I'm corpsing
he's
my
corpsing
hands
already. Jesus Christ!
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
Professional wrestler.
Sorry.
Jesus.
That's unprofessional.
That's why we're
Oh
fans.
my God!
not wrestlers.
Yeah. Send for the man, please. As I was saying, I think the match was great, and like the near falls were great. Like some really good ones, and Cena doing a suicide dive out of the ring. That was just like, holy shit! Like, what the hell is he doing?
I just want to mention that how awesome. One of my favorite moments of the year is when he did the suicide dive, and then the crowd chanted, "You still suck."
Yeah.
So, he does like one of the most high-flying moves ever.
And but like also, I think the match would have been a lot better if they had that draw finish, and then they actually had a rematch at Hell in a Cell. If that had worked out, I think it would have been a lot better, the whole feud. And it's really a shame that it didn't work out, especially because like it showed that WWE had planned to continue this feud, and that was they were going to do like a cheap finish. They were going to give it they were doing a draw, but it was going to be a reason for the draw. And like, I really like that. And it's a damn shame it didn't work out.
I felt like when we watched that, or when I watched that the draw finish, I was totally okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. It worked.
I want everybody to be clear. I do not like dusty finishes.
Yeah.
I do not like them. So that was something that I was okay with.
Also, Cena doing a German suplex, he actually did a pretty good one off the second rope too. Like, holy shit, man.
It was a unique finish, at least. Okay.
Are we giving a rating for the matches too?
I did.
I give it 4.5 stars. It was a really, really great match.
Okay, I guess I can get my match ratings. I didn't rate them ahead of time, but
you don't want to.
Amateur.
Yeah, I'm an amateur. I'll do them. My number 5 is CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan from Over the Limit.
Good pick.
I just thought it was awesome to see these two guys have a match for the WWE title in WWE, obviously. But I never thought I'd see these two guys. I was always a fan of these guys before they ever came to WWE. Daniel Bryan's been my favorite wrestler for a long time now, and CM Punk as well. And not only that, they just had a really sweet match. it was like they had a great technical match, lots of good wrestling, lots of holds, lots of submissions. And it wasn't like a finisher fest type match. It was just kind of like both these guys were so evenly matched. And
I don't even think CM Punk didn't even hit the GTS in that match, did he? He didn't
no,
hit it.
there was only. Yeah, there's only.
They only did submission finishes.
Yeah, I mean.
That's right.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't. There's a lot of matches. There's a lot of matches that are just finisher fest, and it's just hit a finisher and lay around. And these guys just worked for
Punk
22 minutes
really
or whatever.
was too. Like they had a lot of finishes in that match.
But yeah, I, like many others, don't think this is the best these guys can do against each other, though, and I'd like to see more, please.
I'm waiting for an Iron Man match between those two. I want to see an Iron Man match.
I don't know if I want to see that much Cena, but
no,
Daniel Bryan's, sorry.
Yeah,
I was thinking of your match. I'm sorry.
Jesus, what the fuck?
Cena's done an Iron Man match. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't remind me.
Your number 4.
My number 4 is this is a match that's going to be on everybody's list, but I'm probably going to catch hell for it for being this far down. My number 4 was Undertaker versus Triple H Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that was I also rated that 4.5 stars. I thought this was a great match. I remember the first time I saw it, I was underwhelmed by it. I think part of it was the first half of WrestleMania. I was very upset about.
We'll get into that in another video. A storm is coming.
But that was storytelling. Like, if you want a storytelling match, that's it, right there. That was one of those matches that you could watch the match. You didn't have to watch the entrances or the aftermath. You could watch the whole match. And you knew the whole story of their career, the importance of the cell, the importance of Michaels being involved.
Yep.
And it was just really well done. There's really nothing you can really say about that. It was head and shoulders above their match from last year, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was a really good match too, though.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So that's saying something. And it was one of those things that in 5-10 years, everyone's going to remember that match.
Oh yeah,
and people are going to want to rewatch.
That may be that's going to be hard to top it. Nobody's going to have a hard time topping that as a Hell in a Cell match after that match.
Well, they don't seem too concerned about.
No, they don't. No. My number 4 was from P2G Threemendous 3, a triple threat ladder match between Future Shock, the Young Bucks, and Super Smash Bros. For the P2G tag team titles. This match was just. You knew it was going to be crazy because you had 6 wrestlers in a small venue, packed house, and a bunch of ladders they bought at Lowe's. You knew someone was going to get hurt. And this match was incredible. I wish I could have been there live because you could tell on camera, you were missing stuff that was off camera. Just by the commentators, they were talking about stuff and but the stuff on camera was great. I mean, these guys put their lives on the line and they delivered huge. I mean, you saw people getting hit hard with ladders. You saw this was tag team wrestling at its best this year. I think it was a spot fest, yes, but it was a spot fest that had a purpose and you could feel some of the spots and then just and also the finisher with Rick Knox pushing over the ladder and the crowd going ape shit, and then him diving over the top rope. I get goosebumps watching just because of how into it the crowd is, and you could tell that whole night was just a big party and the whole crowd.
And that's how you have a run-in finish that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly, because it's been building for months, even years, of the Young Bucks not liking Rick Knox and Rick Knox finally getting his revenge, and just that whole match that is maybe the best tag team ladder match I've seen since the Hardys, Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys.
Yeah,
definitely.
I would definitely say that.
I could see people getting that 5 stars. I get 4 3/4. Just incredible match, and just something worth taking your time to see and worth paying for.
I don't remember if I rated my number 5 match, but I gave it 4.5 just to be sure.
Okay.
So my number 4 is also 4.5 stars. I said Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kazuchika Okada from Dominion, the rematch for the title. This match was just these guys were so evenly matched. It was the rematch which Okada had unexpectedly won the first time, so this was his defense as champion, but you really had no idea who was going to win. It was just, since they'd already had one match under their belt, it just felt like these guys were meant to wrestle each other. They went together so well. And there's not a lot to say. It's just a great match. My number 4.
That's it. Yeah, that is a great match.
I have not seen that.
I must say, I have to admit, it's not on my list, but that's a match that most people should go out of their way to see. And Dominion itself was a great show.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see that. I did not see that. So
number 3.
All right, number 3. I went with what your number 4 for my number 3 was Super Smash Brothers versus the Young Bucks versus Future Shock, and in the ladder match. And I must say, this match, it blew me away. And the thing is, I saw it weeks after I heard the hype about it. So, when someone tells you you're about to see the best ladder match you've seen in 15 years, or maybe not that long,
right?
But in a decade,
best tag team ladder match you've seen in 15 years.
There's a lot of weight that comes behind that, and it definitely delivered. I must say,
back.
It'll be all right. I must say that this match was crazy, and like you said, the fact that it was in such a small venue,
you
just were. I thought they were gonna hurt the crowd.
If I can say one thing, I loved Excalibur on the commentary, basically if this is the last PWG show, it's because we were sued and shut down because of someone getting hurt during the match.
I must say, this match had absolutely jaw-dropping spots, and that. Let me just say, I have TMJ, so this was literally painful for me to watch. Okay, so that's my number 3, and I gave that 4 3/4 stars.
Okay, my number 3 is your number 4. It is Triple H versus the Undertaker at WrestleMania in the Hell in a Cell. Basically, for all the reasons you said, it is if you watch their WrestleMania 27 match, that was just how much shit we could do in a match. We're just gonna do some crazy shit and we're gonna have a brawl. This match right here was a storytelling match. You just felt the story elements. You saw Shawn Michaels near tears in this match because of how these two guys that he respected and loved were literally trying to kill each other in this match. And Triple H beating Undertaker to death with that chair is just I was wondering how the hell is he gonna walk away from this?
And I don't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
But I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, I didn't like how over the top Michaels was, and I rewatched it and I realized that Taker was willing. The whole story was Taker was willing to die before he was going to lose that match, and that made sense why Michaels was so on top.
And I will say right now though, I've rewatched that match, and a spot that still I cannot believe he kicked out of was the super kick into the pedigree that Taker took. That I still just cannot believe he kicked out of that. That is just it's a moment you instantly pop for, and just that whole match just was something else entirely, and it saved WrestleMania. I think it brought WrestleMania
back to life.
Yeah, it brought it back to life for sure, and just that is a match that needs to be seen, and just it really was an end of an era. I think as cheesy as it does sound.
Okay, my number 3 is one that both of you have already had on your list. I have the Young Bucks versus the Super Smash Brothers versus Future Shock, the triple threat ladder match from Threemendous 3. These guys pretty much said it all. I mean, this match was I was afraid for these guys' lives.
I was afraid for
I don't know how somebody didn't die. I mean, this was just one of the craziest matches I've ever seen. It was just spot after spot after spot, and it's a spot fest, but the spots were so good. And it was just so unbelievable and innovative, and it's just something I've never even seen before. It was the feeling of the TLC matches all over again. Mm-hmm. Just you're hoping these guys will walk away, all walk away from it, and thankfully they did somehow.
Yeah.
But this match was just. This match had by far the most holy shit moments of any match of the year, and
Matt Jackson or Nick Jackson spinning around with a ladder on his head and just cracking Kyle O'Reilly unprotected right.
I mean, the whole match is just one crazy spot after crazy spot. It's each spot was just no way, no way.
Yeah.
So
this is one of those matches for people that if you got a short attention span for wrestling at the moment, this is your match. I love every second.
If you want to show your friends a match just to keep them entertained, for 5 minutes or
5 minutes,
20 minutes or whatever.
It feels like 5 minutes.
It blows by. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So that's a consensus top 5 match for all.
Well, that was 3 for both of us.
Yep. So number 2.
All right. For number 2, I went with Davey Richards versus Micheal Elgin at their Showdown in the Sun match.
Night 2,
yes. And I rated that 5 stars.
I'm going to stop you right here because I know both of you guys are going to rate this match second. I don't want to go into it much because I want to talk about this match a lot. So I'm going to say it right now.
All right, well, I'm going to go into it then.
Okay, fuck you.
Well, I think it's my turn to talk. So
Okay.
I just want to say, the only thing I want to say about this match is that this is one of those matches that will be remembered in ROH history among the best. I mean, when you talk about Joe versus Punk, when you talk about the Dragon Gate 6-man, this is one of those matches that's going to come up in that talk. Because it is phenomenal.
Nigel versus Danielson numerous times, I think.
Yeah, this is... But the thing is, like, when you think of ROH and the 5-star matches, there's like 3.
Oh,
and this was the 4th. Well, I mean...
Joe versus Kenta.
Let's not get all into the
I know,
shit, but
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that this match is going to be remembered.
Oh,
and
hell
Michael
yeah.
Elgin solidified himself with this match.
Hell yeah.
5 stars.
Okay, you want to go next? Because you're probably going to say the same thing as him.
I didn't rate the previous matches 4 3/4. My number 2 is also Elgin versus Richards. Most years this would be the match of the year, and honestly, when I saw this match, I didn't think it was going to be topped. When I first saw it, I gave it 4 3/4. I've since rewatched it, and I got to go 5.
Same here.
I mean, because my problem with it the first time was that there were the near fall. It's just a sequence of near falls that goes on for about 15 minutes, just 15 minutes of near falls. But even in rewatching it, I'm still like, wow, I could see how you could buy each and every one of those near falls. It's like going into the match, nobody thought Elgin was going to win, but he made it believable, and everything they did worked. It told a great story.
Told not to go into this, but he's going into it.
Well, you should have
my
went
turn.
second.
I have the floor, sir.
Okay.
That's right.
This is my channel. I'll fucking edit you out.
All right, I won't say any. I'll let you finish it,
Okay.
but I'll just say almost any of the year, this would be just about match of the year.
All right.
I mean, it's a great match.
Well, I did not put that number 2. I put Suzuki versus Tanahashi from King of Pro
Don't
Wrestling.
talk about that.
I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna say right now though, I love the match. I think the problem I had with that match was I went into it with too high expectation because everyone I heard from talked so much about it. Like everything I heard about it, was like it's a great match, and it is a tremendous match, like just perfectly executed, like technical wrestling match. But there's this. It just didn't do it for me for match of the year, and I'll let you guys talk more about that when you guys get to it.
Okay, well, for my number
Assuming this.
my number 1 is Tanahashi versus Suzuki. And for me, this was a great match, and there is no but. This is wrestling. This is what every wrestling match should be compared to. This is perfect. There's nothing bad about this match. This is the big fight feel. This is watching a match and you can suspend belief easily. There's no point in this match where you're like, that was fake. This is a perfect wrestling match, and you bought everything they did. The selling was perfect. Nobody forgot to sell the whole match. There's nothing bad about this match. I have nothing bad to say about this match. I can't say enough good about it. So I'm gonna let Justin take over. And
I want to say one thing
finish
though.
what I was
Suzuki's knee selling. Like I thought, like the guy like blown his knee out, and the part where Tanahashi does the Dragon School and he counters it into the sleeper. That is awesome. I've never seen.
Yes,
that is a great.
When I saw that match, and I was telling Smoke over here what to look out for, I was like, it's this reversal, and it's like, it's not like a crazy reversal. It's just like a quick little thing, but it's so fluid and it's so cool, and I've never seen it before.
I've never seen that happen before, and like I'm just like.
And the thing is, when he didn't tell me what it was, and when I watched it, I marked and I knew.
I told you before, and you'll know when you see it. And it's just a little thing.
Also, I don't know. You probably touched upon it, but like just. Yeah, it is a phenomenal match. I gotta say that right now. I love the match, but like I said, I just think it was way too overhyped for me.
Justin's turn.
Okay.
I don't like the butts.
Okay.
Tanahashi versus Suzuki, 5 stars, match of the year. I honestly, for what they set out to do, this was flawless. For the type of match they were trying to have, it's this is one of the best matches I've seen in years. It's just everything was, like he said, believable. The selling of the injuries was believable, and they didn't go away from it. They were consistent with the selling, and it was just the psychology of it was incredible. Suzuki just played this nasty heel the whole time, and you just hated his guts.
Oh yeah.
And Tanahashi, it's like I got behind him. I forgot I was watching a wrestling match. I was just like, oh my god, I wanted to win so bad. And it wasn't like a finisher fest. It was just like whoever got an opening took advantage of it. I just thought this was one of the best matches in years.
Okay.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there was one pinfall attempt at the end.
That's one thing I want to talk about. Is like the fact that they only had one pinfall, one finisher, and that was it. And like that's one thing if anything, it's worth checking out just to see like how they play that up. And like how they just like they don't go for finishers.
And it's amazing to me that they had a match of the year, 5-star match, and it wasn't a finisher fest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Okay, my match of the year is one they've already talked about: Davey Richards versus Micheal Elgin at Showdown the Sun, Night 2. For me, this match is my match of the year just because I've watched it and rewatched it, and I still just I fall in love with this match. It is just so entertaining to watch. There are parts of this match where I'm just like, how the hell are these guys wrestling? The dragon suplex off the top rope that Elgin took, where he basically landed on his head. And, and again, Nigel McGuinness on commentary, where he's like, I have to stand up. He's getting winded watching this match. And, like, you're feeling that, like, intensity, that, like, drama. And, like, the moment where Elgin hit Richard with that high knee and hit the Elgin bomb, and, like, Nigel's just like, that's it, cover him.
Yeah.
You believe for an instant, like, Elgin is going to win this right here. And just, it is a phenomenal match. And it's a star-making match. It's a match that proved why Elgin is the top guy, a future top guy in Ring of Honor. And it is going to be one of those matches that is remembered for years and years as one of the best matches ever done by Ring of Honor. And
it's saying a mouthful.
There are so many great matches in Ring of Honor, so many matches that could be 5 stars, but this is one that just is miles above almost anything you saw in Ring of Honor this year. Like, it's just an extra level above almost any match you saw in Ring of Honor this year. And in my opinion, it's the match of the year just because of what it symbolized. It symbolized Micheal Elgin getting to that next level and taking the ball and running with it and becoming this huge star. And just like, for me, I cannot think of a better match from this year than that.
Well, you can't go wrong with any of these matches we mentioned, and I recommend that you...
Every single match we mentioned, and there's so many more that we could mention.
Oh, definitely.
This year was made for one-on-one matches or just one match blow-off matches or whatever. Yeah. This year had a shitload of them. Chikara especially had some great ones. Almost every match that Kingston was in for the belt was great.
I want to go out of my way and say, and this is an honorable mention for me, and a lot of people won't even put this in their top 10, maybe not top 20. Yeah. But I'm going to say, I said it in our last video, I'm going to say it again. Go see Sarah Del Rey versus Generico. That is a match you must see. That,
for me, was the Chikara match of the year up until, like, her match with Eddie Kingston and the matches that the Young Bucks had with Fist at Chikara Stars Rights. Sarah Del Rey and Eddie Kingston is a great match, but her and Generico is another great one. There is so many great matches this year. This is a year to watch matches in wrestling. There are so many great ones. No excuses why you shouldn't check these matches out.
Right. Justin, is there any honorable mentions that you must throw out there?
Yes, and you know what it is. I have to throw out Undertaker versus Triple H. I didn't put it in my top 5, but it's definitely in my top 10.
The matches they both mentioned were on our top 10. We're all on mine. They're all. Also, Austin Aries versus Robert Roode. I mean, that was a great match too.
Yeah, the first. I would say the first match.
Yeah, for the belt at Destination X was a great match. All right, but that's it for now. Before we start rambling some more, thanks again for joining us, and take care.